In the modern football world, where speed and strength are increasingly becoming decisive factors, it is rare to see young players display composure, intelligence, and maturity from their very first steps. And if there is one name gradually emerging as a phenomenon in the defensive realm, it is undoubtedly Leny Yoro. Born in 2005, meaning he is just 19 years old at the time of this video, Leny Yoro has already caught the attention of numerous top clubs. From Real Madrid to PSG, from Bayern Munich to Arsenal. But his final destination, surprisingly, turned out to be Manchester United, a club in the midst of rebuilding, yearning to reclaim its former glory. Without fanfare or flamboyance, Leny Yoro arrived at Manchester United amid great expectations but also in an atmosphere full of skepticism. A teenage centre-back from League One, could he truly possess the mettle to conquer the most demanding league in the world, the Premier League? Could he adapt to the pressure from the fans at the Theatre of Dreams, a stage that has nurtured and welcomed legends like Ferdinand, Vidic, and beyond? Yet, as each match unfolded, every duel won, every crucial headed clearance, every textbook perfect interception. All of it gradually forced pundits and fans alike to nod in acknowledgement. This is not just a young talent. This is a rough gem being polished into one of the world's finest defenders. But to truly understand Leny Yoro's value, we must look back at the journey he has taken. No one is born a star. Behind the spotlight are countless hours of relentless training, quiet academy matches, and moments of failure that make one want to quit, yet Yoro never did. And it is that very spirit that propelled him from a boy in the suburbs of Saint Maurice, France, to the defensive pillar of one of the most storied clubs on the planet. In today's video, we will explore an exciting and inspiring journey together, from Yoro's early days at Lille's academy to his breakout in League One, from his surprising decision to join the Red Devils to his first moments playing at Old Trafford in front of tens of thousands. Every step, every match, every decision, each is a piece of the puzzle that forms the portrait of a new generation football talent. We will revisit his standout performances, impressive statistics, and insights from coaches, teammates, and football experts. Is Leny Yoro the solution to Manchester United's defensive puzzle? Can he follow in the footsteps of his legendary predecessors to become the new defensive icon at the Theatre of Dreams? Let's embark on this journey, the journey of Leny Yoro, from Lille to Manchester United, the future defensive star of the Red Devils. Leny Yoro, a name that sounds special, and indeed, he was a special player from a very young age. Born on November 13, 2005, in Saint Maurice, a quiet suburb on the eastern outskirts of Paris, an area not known for football, without prestigious academies, yet one that nurtured a determined spirit and a burning passion for the beautiful game. From an early age, Yoro displayed an intense love for football. Afternoons spent chasing a ball on dirt pitches, impromptu street matches with friends, these were the first, most natural and pure foundations that shaped the footballing mind of this young man with Ivorian roots. At 11 years old, a turning point arrived. Yoro was scouted by Lille OSC's Youth Academy, one of France's finest talent factories. This was the same academy that produced stars like Eden Hazard, Divock Origi, and more recently, on his first day at the academy, Yoro wasn't the tallest or the fastest player. But the coaches quickly noticed something special, his exceptional reading of the game and an uncanny calmness in possession. While many of his peers rushed their decisions, Leny always knew when to hold the ball, when to pass, and when to drop back and assess the situation. That innate quality helped Yoro progress rapidly within just a few seasons. By 16, historic milestone was set. Yoro was promoted to Lille's first team by manager Jocelyn Gourvenec. And just months later, he became the second youngest player in the club's history to debut in League One, trailing only Eden Hazard. But it wasn't just his defending that stood out. Yoro's ball-playing ability quickly drew attention. He wasn't just a defensive rock, he was also a player who could initiate attacks, whether through precise short passes or inch-perfect long balls. His impressive performances at Lille soon attracted scouts from across Europe. Real Madrid sent observers. PSG dispatched representatives. Bayern Munich made inquiries. But in the young defender's mind, there was another dream, playing in the Premier League. And specifically, wearing the Manchester United shirt, where legendary centre-backs had left an indelible mark on football history. After his impressive performances at Lille, it was no surprise that Leny Yoro became a target for Europe's biggest clubs. Experts linked him with Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, and even Bayern Munich, all reportedly in contact with his representatives. But in the end, amid fierce competition in the transfer market, Manchester United surprisingly secured the signature of this rising gem. In July 2024, the deal was finalized. Leny Yoro officially signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United. The transfer fee was estimated at €45 million, a significant sum for an 18-year-old. But for United, this wasn't just an investment for the present. It was a move to solidify their defensive future. On his unveiling day, Yoro stepped onto the Old Trafford pitch in a sleek black suit, his bright eyes and confident smile radiating composure. Behind him, the iconic Red Devil crest loomed large. Fans couldn't help but wonder, is this the new... At his first press conference, when asked why he chose Manchester United over other elite suitors, Yoro answered simply, "I grew up watching Rio Ferdinand play. I loved his defending, calm, intelligent. When I learned United wanted me, I didn't have to think twice. This is where I belong." With those words, he had already won over the hearts of the United faithful. Erik Ten Hag, a manager known for nurturing young talent, personally called Yoro before the transfer. In an internal interview later, the Dutchman said, "Leny has all the qualities of a modern centre-back: physique, speed, intelligence, and maturity. We believe he'll adapt quickly and become a key part of our long-term project." Shortly after signing, Yoro joined United's pre-season tour, where he trained alongside veterans like Raphael Varane and Lisandro Martinez, even receiving advice from legendary goalkeeper Edwin van der Sar, who was part of the interim coaching staff. In his first friendly against Inter Milan, Yoro came on in the second half. Within minutes, he made a perfect sliding tackle, cutting off a dangerous counterattack. His positioning, composure, and reflexes were evident from the very start. The English media quickly showered him with praise. The Athletic dubbed him the Silent Wall, while BBC Sport compared his style to a young Rio. While some skeptics remained, most agreed, Yoro could be a cornerstone of United's new era. Not just for his talent, but for his professionalism, ambition, and rapid adaptability. Off the pitch, Yoro settled in just as quickly. He began learning English, frequently sharing glimpses of his life on social media, from gym sessions to trying traditional English dishes with his new teammates. But of course, the Premier League is no easy stage. The pressure at Old Trafford is immense, especially for a young defender expected to follow in the footsteps of legends like Vidic, Ferdinand, and Stam. Yet, it's in such an environment that diamonds are truly polished. And at just 18, Leny Yoro had begun August 17, 2024, a day Leny Yoro would never forget. For the first time, the 18-year-old was named in the starting lineup for a Premier League match, Manchester United season opener against Aston Villa at Old Trafford. Standing in a back four alongside Lisandro Martinez, Diogo Dalot, and Luke Shaw, Yoro was surrounded by experience, yet he played with the composure of a veteran. The match began with intense pressure. Aston Villa's rapid attack caused problems early on. But at the heart of United's defense, Yoro remained unshaken. A crucial headed clearance in the 6th minute, a last-ditch block in the 24th, and a perfectly timed sliding tackle in the 43rd, each intervention drew roars of approval from the Old Trafford crowd. His Premier League debut was flawless, heavy checkmark 93% pass accuracy, heavy checkmark 5 clearances, heavy checkmark 3 successful tackles, heavy checkmark 1 key interception, and most impressively, not a single mistake. After the match, Erik Ten Hag commented, "I don't want to put pressure on him, but Leny has something special." The English media quickly took notice. The Guardian wrote, "Manchester United may have found their defensive cornerstone." The French teenager played like a seasoned Premier League veteran. In the following matches, Yoro continued to impress: soccer ball against Tottenham, he made a brilliant recovery tackle to stop Son Heung-min. Soccer ball at Anfield, he held his own against Liverpool's relentless attack for 70 minutes before a tactical substitution. His greatest strength? Unshakable composure. Unlike many young defenders, Yoro never panics under pressure. He defends with intelligence and simplicity, always keeping United's backline organized, something the club had long been missing. His ball-playing ability also fits Ten Hag's system perfectly. Multiple times, Yoro split defenses with line-breaking passes. Off the pitch, his professionalism shines just as bright. Small Blue Diamond first to arrive, last to leave training. Small Blue Diamond studies opponents meticulously, taking notes on every striker he'll face. Raphael Varane, his compatriot and mentor, once said, "I see my younger self in Leny, humble, hardworking, and fiercely ambitious." He doesn't need to shout to be heard. His actions speak for him. And actions have indeed been Yoro's loudest statement. Within just 3 months, he became United's first. As the season entered its most intense phase, one thing became clear: Leny Yoro was no longer just a promising talent, he had become an indispensable part of Erik Ten Hag's tactical system. In United's familiar 4-2-3-1 formation, Yoro typically played as the right-sided centre-back. With his speed, anticipation, and ice-cool composure, he helped United build play more effectively from the back. What stood out was his reading of the game. He didn't need to make reckless challenges because he snuffed out danger before it escalated. The numbers don't lie: heavy checkmark 7 clean sheets in 15 starts, 6 of them with Yoro on the pitch. Heavy checkmark among the team's top passers in accuracy, especially in progressive distribution from defense. But Yoro's impact wasn't just technical. Despite being just 18, he quickly became a mental pillar for his teammates. Coaches praised his maturity and discipline, while players trusted him implicitly. At one point, with both Varane and Bruno Fernandes absent, as the season entered its most intense phase, one thing became clear: Leny Yoro was no longer just a promising talent, he had become an indispensable part of Erik Ten Hag's tactical system. In United's familiar 4-2-3-1 formation, Yoro typically played as the right-sided centre-back. With his speed, anticipation, and ice-cool composure, he helped United build play more effectively from the back. What stood out was his reading of the game. He didn't need to make reckless challenges because he snuffed out danger before it escalated. The numbers don't lie: heavy checkmark 7 clean sheets in 15 starts, 6 of them with Yoro on the pitch. Heavy checkmark among the team's top passers in accuracy, especially in progressive distribution from defense. But Yoro's impact wasn't just technical. Despite being just 18, he quickly became a mental pillar for his teammates. Coaches praised his maturity and discipline, while players trusted him implicitly. At one point, with both Varane and Bruno Fernandes absent, Yoro was even named. Leny Yoro is just 18 years old. His Manchester United career has only just begun. But what he has left on the pitch in these early months isn't merely statistics, it's inspiration. In a team still searching for its identity, where expectations have often turned into burdens, Yoro emerged as a breath of fresh air, calm, unassuming, yet unyielding. No theatrics, no grandstanding, yet every time he steps onto the field, he makes supporters feel a rare sense of reassurance. Perhaps that's what Manchester United once had, and are now rediscovering, in legendary defenders like Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, and Jaap Stam, a true leader, both in skill and spirit. Yoro's future is a book with many blank pages still to fill. But these first chapters already show the makings of a born defensive leader, not just for United. The question is no longer whether Yoro will succeed, but how far he can go. What trophies will he help United reclaim? Glowing star, could he one day be spoken of as a true Old Trafford legend? One thing is certain: Leny Yoro didn't come here to sightsee. He came to compete, to learn, to conquer, and to etch his name into history. In every sprint, every last-ditch tackle, every moment he stands tall under pressure, there lies a fragment of that journey. A journey of growth, resilience, and relentless ambition. And for those who love the red of Manchester, they may have found in Leny Yoro, not just a defender for the future, but a piece of a legacy being rewritten.